What up, what up? Welcome to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations with high-minded individuals right in the smoothest city in the world, Rochester, New York. I am your very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze, and welcome to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Today, on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, we're finishing up this combo of starting all over. And what we're talking about today is focusing on the journey itself, then the ending. Right up next on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Oh boy, it's hot. What up? Welcome to my corner of the universe. If you want to sit there and advertise for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze and have your products or services be placed here, let us handle it for you. So doesn't matter if you're a small business, you're a big business, you got products, artworks, whatever it is, let SBC handle your workload, okay? Let us handle your workload. So go ahead and email us at sonyblazecorner.com and we'll get that to you as soon as you can. Peace. Welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations with high-minded individuals right in the smoothest city in the world, Rochester, New York. I am your very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze, and welcome to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. So we don't have a guest yet, so it'll probably be a little bit of time before we're going to have to start getting guests on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. But it doesn't matter, the show must go on. So, like always, just a quick introduction. My name is Sony Blaze. I've been doing broadcasting, YouTubing, content creating for a bit of like 12 years. Give or take a few years, but I've been doing this for quite a while. Also, I'm a Haitian American citizen. I was born in America, but both my parents are Haitians. Yes, sac passé, tout le monde sac passé. So, anyways, I've been in America all my life. I don't remember too much about the times that I've been to Haiti, but. So I have been to Haiti a few times. So just out here, just chilling. Yes, just chilling. So anyways, a little bit more. I decided to get back on to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze because, one, I want to make some money. Two, I want to be able to actually make Deep Talk with Sony Blaze in my boxers. Yes, I'm serious about that. So, also, I did a reference on, I can't remember where I did the reference at, but not too long ago, I did a reference why that I want to do this, because the main reason why I want to do this for is because I want to be able to actually do these shows, with my boxers and still make money. And the reason why I'm saying that like that is because just to get straight into it, what really got me into actually really like try to do this full time is I remember when I was watching, and also, well, we're going to get there, but when I was watching the GNN from Snoop Dogg. What up, Snoop Dogg, man? I would love to have you as a guest on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. But anyways, I remember I was watching a episode of the GNN with Snoop Dogg, and I remember he just came out with his robe on, just his robe. That's it. That's all he came out with a robe. That's all he did. He came out with a robe, and I remember just sitting there watching. I was like, you know what? I want to do that. I want to sit there and have me a show, and I could just sit back and I could sit in my skibbies and still make money. And that's why I'm doing this right now. I'm not at this point yet. I mean, I already got one of my goals in. I mean, I'm not on my boxers now or anything. Don't worry about people. I got clothes on. y'all see this. And also, if y'all do want to actually purchase this right here, this is from TMMG. Very great brand. What up, though, TMNG, man? I want to sit there and have a partnership with y'all. Man, TMNG, you know, they got great clothing brand. Let's go ahead and hit them up. If y'all want to actually get this, just let me know down in the comments. I'll sit there send you a link. But anyways, that's what I just mainly want to do. I just want to sit back and chill and whatsoever. So, I mean, and I guess this is probably appropriate of me starting all over because all month long so far, this whole month of July, we just got back into Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, and what this month theme was starting all over. And since this is the end, I want to actually talk about focusing on the journey and then the ending. Because that's something that we tend to do. So that will come up real soon, up next. All up in Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. And also, if there's anybody who's out there who wants to go ahead and have some of your businesses, products be promoted in Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, please let me know. Anyways, we'll be right back after these breaks on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Peace. What up? Welcome to my corner of the universe. If you want to sit there and advertise for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze and have your products or services be placed here, let us handle it for you. So doesn't matter if you're a small business, you're a big business, you got products, artworks, whatever it is, let SBC handle your workload, okay? Let us handle your workload. So go ahead and email us at sonyblazecorner.com and we'll get that to you as soon as you can. Peace. Hello, and welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations with high-minded individuals right in the smoothest city in the world, Rochester, New York. I am your very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze, and welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Man, I have to say, it's a hot fucking day today. It is a hot day, but oh well, man, you know, it's whatever. So, anyways, thank you for joining me once again on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where comes out premieres every Wednesday from 8 to 9 Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining me. And if you're not a follower, go ahead and hit that, follow buttons. Become a follower of Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. But anyways, let's get straight to the discussion, man. Like I said, all month long we've been talking about starting all over, how to land and catch yourself when you're starting all over, and it doesn't mean that it's over. And now it's time to really end this off, though, man. Just end this off. And I have to say, it's been a month, and also this is probably the last time y'all see this particular angle, because I already know exactly where I'm gonna start to actually do more of the recording for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. So it's still gonna be on my desk, but it's gonna be somewhere different because y'all don't need to see what's going on back here. No. And the reason why I allowed it for at least 4 episodes, because I was like, you know what, especially with the theme of the episode, I want to go ahead and just do something and to show y'all the progress that I'm doing, because this is just the progress of me from point A to B to C to D till I get towards point Z. But anyways, let's get back into it though, man. So thing is about starting all over. The thing is, starting all over, it's hard. But even though starting all over is hard, you can be tougher. I'm gonna say this one more time, man. Starting all over is hard, but you can be tougher. I mean, now, to be honest, starting all over doesn't really have to be hard. But then, especially as us humans and whatsoever, it gets a little difficult. Okay, let's be real. Let's be straight up, man. It does get difficult because the thing is, by starting all over, you have to sit there. You gotta learn. You gotta first of all relearn a lot of things. Then you got to unlearn a lot more things, and then learn again. and then you got, and now after you learn, excuse me, you have to apply the knowledge that you learn, and it's hard, especially because let's go to one of the things why it's tough to start all over. One of the reasons why it's tough to go ahead and start all over, it has to do with that first of all, you have to start all over. You have to start from square one. You have to sit there and pick up everything that again after you required a lot of things. Just think about it. Like let's say if you're like maybe a basketball player, a football player, or you a computer, I was about to say computer designer, like a graphic designer, or maybe a game developer and whatsoever. We're getting there. We're getting it. And while you're doing that, let's say there's something new. We're gonna use the game designer because it makes a little bit more sense. And let's say you was learning a game engine. If you don't know what a game engine is how these games are being made by this compilations of program that comes together that you can sit there and put the codes in and graphics, and then bam, you make a game. But anyway, to get back to it, you sat there, you learned this game engine and you master it and whatsoever, and then something happens, and then for some reason the game engine becomes obsolete, and then and then a brand new one that could be better comes up along, and now you have to start all over again by learning a new language and a new program, start from square one all the way towards a master level again. And the thing is, it's difficult within itself because you have to start all over, and it's not just difficult, it's scary, because you have to go ahead and all the knowledge that you have may not even work for the new thing, and you have to go back and dive deep, and then not just dive deep, you have to go through the stress, the sleepless nights, and all this messed up, fucked up thing, because you have to start all over. But out of all that, it doesn't matter though, man. As long as you could be tougher than that, you can easily glide through it though, man. And that's the thing. And that's the thing about us being humans, is us relearn how to become tougher, relearn how to become better to what we do. Because yeah, let's be real, it's gonna be hard. Start all over sucks. Start all over is fucked up. But it doesn't mean that you start all over doesn't mean it's the end though, man. You just have to learn how to be tougher. That's the thing. You just gotta learn how to be tougher. Now, the thing about that is though, man, like, to make it easier for yourself, you shouldn't really focus on the end result, because I think that's the main reason why we tend to be hard on ourselves when we're starting all over, is because we're so focused on the end points. Because let's think about it. Let's go back to the analogy of the game designer and the new game engine that he's learning. So he's already nervous, he's scared and whatsoever, because first of all, the game engine that he used and so used to and master is obsolete. He can't really do that anymore. But and all the knowledge, techniques, and skills may not translate well into the new game engine that he's working on, because it's brand new, is using a new foundation and what the old one is. And let's be real, a lot of us, we are afraid of change. We're afraid of something new, something different. But not just that, Mainly, he's just, since he already mastered the first game engine, he already went towards that endpoint. He's focusing too much on trying to be a master of the new game engine where he just got started. And that's the trap that we all end up falling for. That's the trap that we all end up falling for. We sit there, we so focused on the end result and not paying attention to what's in front of us, that we continue to fall for these traps. Now, don't get me wrong, man. I myself, I tend to do that a lot. I tend to sit there and look at something, look at the end of something, look at the end point, and instead of just worrying about what I'm doing at the moment. We all tend to do that. See, the thing is, we're all fucking humans, okay? We're all fucking humans, and there's going to be times that shit like that is going to happen, and we're going to sit there, fall off, and just mainly focus on that and focus on the end. But I mean, it happens to the best of us. It's happened to the best of us. So that's why, instead of focusing on the end, we need to focus more on the journey itself. Let's say that again for the people who didn't hear me from the back. Instead of focusing on the end, we have to focus more on the journey itself. Let's go back into the analogy with the individual with the game design and working on a new game development program. See, the thing is, once let's go back to him. Once he learns, or she, whatever, use your perspective. So anyway, he, she, whatever. Once they begin to focus on the journey itself instead of the end point, and what's the end point of them becoming a master, but then focus more on the journey as somebody who's new. Guess what happens? You get to learn and enjoy the stuff that you're learning. You get to sit there and start to see more avenues. I don't know what's the wording for that I'm just trying to get, but mainly what I'm saying is, once you focus more on the journey itself, the more that you be able to actually do, and the more that you be able to learn how to relax more, be more joyful, and actually just learn how to be a better person at the end of the day. Because a lot of times, man, it's just, especially how society is, we tend to focus so much on the end result. Like, think of it like in a job. Like, the main reason, like, a lot of us don't like working jobs is because we're sitting there focused on that paycheck. The end result is, how much money I'm about to get paid for this paycheck. And we'll sit there and we worry about that paycheck so much, we tend to work at places that doesn't really be very conductive or great for us or benefit, ourselves or our health and in our mental health, and it's just straight up just bad. It's terrible, and it takes a lot of out of us, and whatsoever. It does takes a lot of us. So I'm gonna say this once again, though, man. When you starting all over again, it's going to be hard, but you have to be tougher. But straight up, man, don't focus on the ending, because you're going to have a fucking bad time if you focus on the ending. And what you should focus more on is the journey, because when you focus on the journey, you become a lot more happier. I don't want to just say happier, because that's also a trap. I'm not saying you can't be happy whatsoever. The best way I could say is you feel a lot more at peace. That's probably more better, because see, the thing is, and that's probably be a future episode of Deep Talk Was on the Blaze, because when you sit there and label with the with something like, because that's a positive, even though it is positive, but that's a positive energy that you're putting into it. Like, okay, so we're going to sit there and put this positive energy to it, but then you got to remember, while you put in the positive, the negatives have to come up. So anyways, so focus more on the energy, because focus more on the journey, because once you do, you become a lot more peaceful. You feel more at ease. Anyways, that's about it for this part of Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. We'll be right back after these break. I got to cool down right now. I am just cooking right now. I'm baking. Woo! Turned to a burnt cookie. Woo! What up? Welcome to my corner of the universe. If you want to sit there and advertise for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze and have your products or services be placed here, let us handle it for you. So doesn't matter if you're a small business, you're a big business, you got products, artworks, whatever it is, let SBC handle your workload, okay? Let us handle your workload. So go ahead and email us at sonyblazecorner.com and we'll get that to you as soon as you can. Peace. Welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations with high-minded individuals right in the smoothest city in the world, Rochester, New York. I am your very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze, and welcome to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. So, if you're just joining me for the first time, and you're just coming in, we're finally ending this month off with the theme of starting all over. And what we're getting into is focusing on the journey than the ending. Okay? So anyway, let's go ahead and continue on the conversation though. Oh man, I have to say I am cooking right now. And no, I don't mean like with the segment, I mean I'm hot. But I am cooking though. I am cooking with the knowledge though. So anyways, we have to learn how to enjoy our journey. Straight up, bruh. You gotta learn how to enjoy your journey. And I do apologize for the yelling whatsoever. And I'm eventually start to fix up the audios. We're getting it. But anyways, to get back into it. That's something that I myself am still learning to this day. I continue to learn this every day, that you have to learn to enjoy your journey. Because I'm gonna be like, I'm just use myself, like, especially back when I was younger, I always worry about the end results. Like, like a good example, when I used to play, I still play video games, but how I used to, the play style of how I used to play video games, I always worry about trying to, complete the game and get towards the end and worry about the ending whatsoever. And that's how was my personality a lot of times. I always worry about the end results of certain things instead of just sitting back smelling the roses. Just sit back and enjoy the roses. And that's the thing though, man. I'm gonna say this again. We have to learn how to just sit back, learn to enjoy the journey that we're taking. Because this ride called life, it's one ticket and only one ride that we know of. At least that we know of so far. And it takes, it's one ride and it takes a while. For a second I got a little bleh. But we have to learn how to enjoy it, because a lot of times, especially this day and age, the way how life is and whatsoever, we tend to be on a rush, like like go, hit, run, pick. It's just like we're on a constant state of movement, and like I said before, we don't stop to chill and enjoy ourselves, enjoy the scenery. I remember one time when I was on Facebook, and one of the brothers that I follow, and I'm surprised, like, with his knowledge and whatsoever, is David Banner. Yeah, I follow David. And also, David, man, if you actually watching this, I want to sit there and have you on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze as well, too. So, anyways, David Banner, he was in there. He said something really interesting. He was like, it's crazy, like, especially because he was talking about, especially, the hood niggas and shit like that. Yeah. He was like, yo, man, like, it's crazy how, like, how, especially with the hustle and bustle and shit like that, how, like, just one time and just don't sit, how they just don't sit back and just look at the sky. That's it. I mean, the thing is, you don't have to go to the park or something or go towards anything. Now, I'm just, obviously you ain't saying that part, but I'm just saying, but people just don't stop and just look at the sky. And that's the thing, like, we don't really go out and just sit back and just be like, you know what? Look up and just look at the sky. And I guarantee if you do that, life get a lot more easier, though, man. Life get a lot more easier if you just sit back and just look at the sky. Just look at the sky. Look at the good thing. Because, see, the thing is, things can and will get bad a lot of times. See, the thing is, things can and will get bad, but we have to learn not to focus on those, okay? Not to focus on those. Like, back to back to where I'm talking about David Banner. Focus on the sky. Because I'm gonna say it like this. There is a lot of bad, fucked up shit happens within our lives. A lot of fucked up and bad shit happens. And once again, things can and will get bad. I forgot what, I don't know if it was a theory or a law or a rule or something, but things can and will get bad or whatsoever. Or it was something around those lines of if something can go bad, it will go bad. But what I'm just trying to say is shit's gonna get fucked up regardless. So instead of focusing on the things that went wrong, focus on something else. Focus on something that focus on a dream. Focus on, like I said, focus on the blue sky. Just focus on something a lot more different than. And I'm just sweating right now. I'm like really sweating. Just focus on something a lot more better than just the bad things that's happening within your life. Because there's a lot of fucked up shit that happens within our lives and whatsoever. But if you learn to focus on what you got going in front of you, focus on the journey, there's good and better chance that things will get a lot better. Things will get better. And also, you can really just truly learn from anything that you experience within your life. Straight up. So anything that's bad happened to you, even if you can sit there and use that as a way to learn of something different, to do something different, because it don't have to be, like I said on one of the previous episodes of Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, you can just use that as a springboard to get towards to a better place where you want to be at. Just because something bad happened to you doesn't have to be truly a bad experience. Doesn't mean something bad happened doesn't have to be truly a bad experience. And you can use that to learn from as well too. So the next time when that happens, you learn not to actually do it and you can avoid it. Just like we're going to go right back with the game designer. Maybe, let's say, after he's in there learning, and then maybe he put a code into the new program and with the video game. As soon as he did that, bug happened and it broke the whole game. And then instead of sitting there complaining about like, ah shit, fuck, woe is me and whatsoever, what that game designer can do is use that what he learned, be like, okay, I cannot place this bug onto this program because if I do, things are going to get break down. So let me change it up so I could get a different result. Because when you sit there and learn from the mistakes that that's happened, or it don't have to be your mistake, but if you learn from everything, you can actually create a different outcome. Straight up, you can create a different outcome. You don't have to, yeah, I don't know what I'm just trying to get to, but what I'm just trying to say is you can change the results of things from what you have learned to get a better ending, okay? Because let's be real. All the bad fucked up shit is going to make you focus on the wrong things. And once you focus on the wrong things, you're going to get a bad and fucked up result. So don't even worry about that. But anyways, we be right back after these breaks on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. What up? Welcome to my corner of the universe. If you want to sit there and advertise for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze and have your products or services be placed here, let us handle it for you. So doesn't matter if you're a small business, you're a big business, you got products, artworks, whatever it is, let SBC handle your workload, okay? Let us handle your workload. So go ahead and email us at sonyblazecorner.com and we'll get that to you as soon as you can. Peace. Welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations with high-minded individuals right in the smoothest city in the world, Rochester, New York. I am your very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze, and welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. If you're just joining me for the first time, we're getting deep into the conversation of starting all over and focusing, and not focusing on the end, but focusing more on your journey. So let's get back into the discussion. So now the thing is, after the screw ups, the mistakes, and also learning how to focus more on your journey itself instead of the ending, you begin to actually continue to learn until you get to the point that you master your life. And the thing is, once you master your life, the greatest thing that you can do is share your knowledge. Once again, once you master your life, the greatest thing you can do is share your knowledge. Share that knowledge. Share your experience. Share the mistakes. Share the things that you have up here, in here, with others, because you may never know what your knowledge, what your experience may do for the next person. Because that's the thing about it, though, man. Like, especially within this life, though. Within this life, man, it's just like this. There's a lot of things that comes up, and a lot, and not just a lot of things that comes up, and then there's a lot of ups and downs that happens while we travel through our lives. And a lot of times, a lot of us, we don't have the tools, the knowledge, the experience that we need to navigate some with some of these issues that we have. A lot of times. And the thing is, if you're someone that's out there right now, if you had learned how to master your life, you learn how to use the experience and knowledge that you gain within your life that you learn from yourself, the best thing you can actually do for not just for yourself but for others is to share your knowledge. It's to share your knowledge. You know, sharing is caring. Sharing is caring, though, man, because you may never know you may never know that the next person that you help, the next person that got some of your knowledge might be the person that saves the world, might be the next billionaire. You may never know, he might be the person that's going to help you within your life, because the simple fact that you sit there and share your knowledge, that what you have picked up for the life that you live. And then see, that's what it's all about. It's all about helping one another and just getting towards, some, better, just, yeah. So, man, it's like this, man. It's just like you doing a disservice if you don't share the stuff that you learn after you master your life. It's you be disingenuous, and it'd be a disservice. Now, the thing is, you don't have to share everything. Now, I'm not saying that you don't have to share everything. Just only share the things that make sense. Only share the things that will help an individual down the line. You don't have to sit there and share everything, okay? You should keep some things for yourself, but just only share enough so you can be like, okay, this is what I have here, and I want to sit there and share this this right here, because there's some things that's probably a lot more personal for you that it's okay to keep to yourself. I'm not saying sit there and share everything that you have. No, I'm not saying I'm not saying just share at least enough to help another person out, because you may never know there's somebody out there who has the same issue or kind of the same issue, and your experience, your knowledge may help them out the hole that they are in right now, okay? Straight up. Now, after all of that as well too, while you helping each and every individual out, while you helping out, don't be a fool for anybody, okay? Even though you're helping somebody out, don't become a fool for them, okay? It's fine to help them out, but don't become a fool, because there's a lot of people that's out there who's going to take advantage of that. There's going to be people who's going to sit there and take advantage of your kindness, who's going to sit there and be like, oh, man, all right, blah, blah, blah. And then use that to as a way to boost themselves up and disregard you and others. So once again, man, don't be a fool for anybody, because even though you should share your knowledge with others and your experience, you got to be careful, because there's angels out there, but there's also demons. There's angels out there, but there's demons. There's people who's out there who's just fucked up, there's something, there's clearly is something wrong with them. So, once again, man, don't just be a fool for anybody, okay? If something's not right, if you helping somebody out and something doesn't feels right and something doesn't make sense, it's okay to be like, you know what? I gotta go, and walk away from there. You don't have to stay there. You don't have to sit there, put up with it. If something's not right, take your ass out. Remove yourself from there, because a lot of times there's a lot of people who's going to sit there and take advantage of your kindness. Take advantage of your kindness. And just sit there and use. And don't give. So you got to be careful with those people. How do we actually figure out who are the ones that are in it for themselves and taking advantage, and the ones that you really want to help and want to do something better for them? Well, I'm not gonna say I'm an expert on that. I'm still learning myself, because there's plenty of people who, take advantage of me, and I'm still learning, because and I'm gonna tell them straight up like this: The stuff that I tell you is stuff that I'm learning for myself as well too. So the best way I can say is to go by your gut, go by your feelings. If it feels wrong, might be wrong. So then take yourself out of the situation. Don't be a fool for anybody. Just leave it alone. Just be like, fuck it, I gotta go. But anyways, straight up though, man. So we about to go ahead and end this though, man. For first of all, man, this has been a very great month for me as well too, especially with the simple fact of starting all over, with the theme of starting all over, and actually getting right back into the flow of things with Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Now, I wasn't having the greatest time in certain times, but at least this allows me to get back into it. So, straight up though, man. When you starting all over though, man, things is going to get tough. Things is going to be hard, but you got to learn how to be tougher. Now, so don't worry about how the end is going to be, and worry about the trip, the journey that you're taking now. And you got to learn how to enjoy that journey. I'm still learning myself, and you got to sit there and learn how to enjoy it as well too. And things will get bad, but don't focus on that, because it's gonna straight up things are gonna get bad. And you can learn from anything that you experience. And once you master your life, share it with people, and make sure you teach whatever you can teach, but don't sit there and be a fool for anybody. Okay. Anyways, go. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Love you. Peace. Man, I am baking right now. Woo. Oh boy. See you later.